Could Chinese cash flow from stocks into Bitcoin and pump the crypto market? Will AI altcoins continue to rally with NVIDIA? And Solana is once again dominating in this metric. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, is not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. All right, so starting off with Bitcoin, analysts at Bitfinex believe that Bitcoin's dip over the last week reduced the likelihood of more downside volatility. Bitcoin's 10% plummet last week was a healthy realignment that should lower the risk of sudden dropping in the coming days and weeks, according to Bitfinex. They said the $60,000 support zone, which we marked out in that TA video a couple days ago, was critical technical analysis factor. That was a strong indicator of lowered volatility. Now, Bitcoin fell almost 10% from its peak between the 27th and October 4th, indicating cautious sentiment among spot investors at these higher price levels. If you remember, we we had this price marked out. This was Sunday night. We said it'd probably come up here into the New York Open on Monday morning and then come back down. It's pretty much halfway there right now and probably going to come down here lower, maybe take out these stops and continue higher. So the game plan is still on from that technical analysis video the other day. But I don't disagree with him. I think we're probably going to have a little bit more chop here before we can continue up. But I don't see a huge risk coming down and going below $57,000 because of this huge 10% drop we had earlier in the month. Let's see what else he had to say. He says, as Bitcoin experienced the first consecutive series of 4 red days since early August, the market saw a healthy realignment. It was pretty green and probably not very sustainable. And the resulting dip saw open interest on Bitcoin shrink from 35 billion to a more stabilized size at $31.8 billion. So basically he's saying we need more spot buying, we need more spot aggression because that's what drives prices up. If we have just a bunch of futures trading in Bitcoin, it's not very healthy for the market and it's a lot more likely to correct. So buying spot around $60,000 to $62,000 is a lot healthier of a way for Bitcoin to go up. And we were a little bit overinflated. So I think if we come back, if we do a little 3-day chart, I think if we come back down here to 60,000, consolidate for a little while, that's a good place for Bitcoin to do more consolidation where buyers and sellers can figure out what they want to do. And then spot buying will eventually drive us back up. That's my current consensus on Bitcoin. After that, we have Chinese stocks today. Jesus. There was a 10% drop, the largest trading drop in its probably, I think it's a history at this point. So despite a strong start to Tuesday, the Chinese stock market came crashing down as the country's top economic planner held back their plans to unleash further stimulus. So if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, China came out and said, hey, we are basically printing money. As Suzu said here, the China stimulus begins. When stimulus begins and they, free up money and start printing, it all goes into risk assets. And we saw that with the HSI, the Hang Seng Index. This was a couple weeks ago at the beginning of September. It had an insane rally. This was what, from the top? Almost 40%. And then today we've dropped almost 10%. It's probably the largest single day drop. So of course it's going to correct at some point. Now I expect us probably to come back down here to this 19,560 level. Not that anyone ever really trades this probably. But if you are looking to see where this is probably going to come back to, I imagine it might come down here. But if it's super bullish, maybe it consolidates a little bit here and then continues back up. Because I don't think China is done with their economic stimulus. They just had a bad press release today. So in the last 3 weeks, the Chinese stock market made massive gains following the $140 billion announcement by the People's Bank of China, which we did see a couple weeks ago, and that helped out crypto as well. The desperate economy boosting measures by the central bank and the Chinese stocks sent the Chinese stocks soaring with the entire stock market by 34% in 3 weeks. However, during the same time, other Asian markets saw huge withdrawals as money flowed into the Chinese market at a rampant pace. So everyone was piling on this trade, hoping to make money, and now it seems like everyone is selling at the top. So a similar scenario was visible for Bitcoin and altcoins as well, which saw a dull start to the month of October, pouring cold water over the much anticipated October rally that we're supposed to have. Now that Chinese stocks have lost momentum, investors are curious as to what will be the next development and whether capital will flow back into Bitcoin and altcoins, leading to a rally ahead, which I do think is going to happen. We had all this momentum from the Chinese government, 40% rally on a huge stock market index. That's insane. It makes sense that, billions of dollars are going to flow out as people take profit. and where they're going to go next into other, risk assets, hopefully being Bitcoin, and then that then flows down into altcoins. Now, on the other hand, the World Bank expects China's growth to weaken going ahead in 2025. China says otherwise, but in its semi-annual report, the global lender said that China economic expansion will drop to 4.3% next year, down from the estimated 4.8% in 2024. So the World Bank thinks that China won't do as well. China's economic planner came out today and didn't do that great of a job explaining what they're going to do, and thus the stock market sold off by almost 10%. This 40% rally on a massive stock index, that's just unheard of. So obviously a 10% sell-off is nothing to be too worried about unless you bought the top. AI altcoins next are soaring as NVIDIA stock hits a 6-week high. NVIDIA is doing well again, and AI altcoins obviously follow NVIDIA. Artificial intelligence coins like Near Protocol, BitTensor are up a lot. I think this was actually yesterday, so they're down a little bit today, but they are doing well in respective to the entire market. The Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, still with the ticker FET, they haven't changed it, has also rallied 4% in the last 24 hours, and Injective is among them. Now, these coins, let's go Near, you can see they're down a little bit today, but overall, the market is coming back. I think we're starting to make these nice higher highs and higher lows on the market structure. You can see here. So if we can, start having this consolidate above these levels here, which I think we will in the coming weeks, we can do pretty well. But I think, the stock market sell-off today, we're coming into a level of resistance. We're probably going to consolidate a little bit lower and then continue up in the second half of October. Same thing with Tau, which is just, oh my God, I should have bought this. This has been on a heater, and it's what is this? 178, 180% basically in the past 30 days. So this one, Tau, is one that you want to bet on, but I think it's going to consolidate in the next, week or so, and then probably have another move up. I would not be surprised if it maybe did another leg, consolidated for a little bit while other AI altcoins and altcoins catch up, and then it does another big move, because it tends to happen in little spurts of activity where it happens for like a week at a time. FET. I mean, it is making higher highs, but it hasn't been as strong as the others. I will say Tau was probably a better bet, so was Near. But this does look good on the high time frame. On the daily chart, it looks pretty good. I would expect us to make new all-time highs probably sometime this year, as AI just seems to be the continued narrative. And they actually said here the coins have rallied with the NVIDIA stock, which hit a 6-week high today, as it rose over 130. If we go back here, what was it? 130. NVIDIA looks good. This is a great looking chart. So if this can drag up all the AI altcoins, I'll be happy, because this is a great looking chart where it has, it sold off, it came back down here into support, it pumped back up, and now it's starting to make these higher lows. I think NVIDIA is going to be another good one, probably head towards, let's see, probably head towards 160-ish in the fourth quarter, because the fourth quarter is usually very bullish for stocks, especially NVIDIA being the leader. I don't doubt that as more graphics processing comes out in the fourth quarter, stocks rally. I think we'll probably see NVIDIA be one of the leaders that continued, and AI cryptos will probably follow them. So they were saying NVIDIA's Jensen Huang mentioned that the company is witnessing an instant demand for its Blackwell AI chip. Meanwhile, the company partnered with IT consulting giant Accenture to boost AI adoption among enterprises. And at the same time, NVIDIA has an ongoing AI summit, so AI altcoins are expected to keep rallying, at least in the short term, and I agree. I mean, look at these coins. It's all AI, that's green, basically. So when the market does come back, if we have a little bit of a flush today, which is Tuesday, if Tuesday and Wednesday are a little bit red, I expect the end of the week to be green, and AI altcoins probably lead the rally. Now, moving on to the last part, Solana is dominating token launches, accounting for over 87% of new tokens in 2024. So this is the metric that Solana is dominating in. If it's a good metric, I'm not entirely sure, because it just means there's more dilution of coins. So I'm not necessarily sure it's a good thing overall for the market. But if you're able to get into these meme coins, which they're talking about, then you're good. But it's a hit or miss. So as of September 30th, Solana has accounted for 96,000 new tokens out of a total 110,000 tokens launched across all tracked chains. And this is 87% of all new tokens appearing on DEXs. a testament to Solana's growing dominance in the space. Now, for me, I like to buy the infrastructure that supports all of this. So Solana coin, Jupiter coin, the DEXs, because I'm not entirely sure which meme coins are going to pump when they do pump, from those low market caps. But if you're buying the infrastructure that these things are trading on, usually a pretty good idea. So the chart illustrates Solana's rise with the number of new tokens skyrocketing from near zero levels in early 2024. And while Solana leads the pack, Base also has seen significant activity, and the two chains have gone back and forth since April. Yeah, chains, whenever a new chain pops up, whether it's Sui, whether it's Base, whatever it might be, Tron at some point a couple months ago, the first thing that pumps is meme coins. So usually if you can get the underlying token, which is used for gas, as well as whatever the DEX is, you're probably going to do pretty well. And then if you can get a couple meme coins that don't rug, then you're golden. The surge in tokens is particularly on Solana can be largely attributed to the explosion of meme coins, of course, pump.fun, fueling a frenzy of speculative activity. Now, Solana is one that I'm always a buyer at these lows here. If you remember the TA video a couple days ago, I bought more spot Solana at this 134 level. Anytime it comes down into support, it wicks above. So there's huge demand here at this this box. And I also did along here, which I'm targeting these next highs at 174, just a short-term trade. But I did buy spot here, expecting hopefully a 2 to 3x. But that's the thing about Solana. You're probably only going to get a 2 to 3x this cycle. You're not going to get those 100% 100x returns that you're going to get on meme coins. But Solana does look like in the coming days, it's probably going to test this level again. I imagine we'll come back down here to 134 if you want to take a similar trade. If it is holding up well and consolidates around this support, another good trade, you can just take this exact same one with a stop loss under 124, because if it loses that, then you're going to want to be out of the trade and reconsider, because it's probably going down lower, unfortunately. That's not the case I see, but that's probably what would happen if Solana did go down to those levels. So I think we're going to have a small little period of red, I think the next day or so. And then I think towards the end of the week and then next week will start to be green a little bit more as hopefully money flows in from China. But that is the news for today, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and let me know if you like this type of format. But that is it. I will see you guys in the next one.